So I spent this weekend packing for a climb. Okay, I'll be leaving this Saturday to climb Suishan, a mountain in Taiwan. There has been quite a bit of training involved, quite a bit of expense replacing gear that has failed over the years of unuse. We haven't been climbing for 3-4 years. There's going to be suffering on the trip, and then again the hassle of settling back to normal life. So why am I climbing? Is it to say that I've summited the second highest mountain in Taiwan in winter? No, it's not the destination, but for me, it's the journey. So I'm going on this mountain journey for a number of reasons. Firstly, the challenge will cause me to change. Okay, the challenge will cause me to change. Secondly, the company that I have on that trip will have some weaker people who I can support and some stronger people who will raise the bar of performance, especially during training and preparation. And thirdly, I know that as I reflect back, I will get coaching in areas of personal development, how to take care of my body, and also dealing with cold and snow, which are very different from our usual tropical weather. So it's about learning how to adapt. Now, coincidentally, I have had mindset training from David Goggins. And, you know, I'm so glad, Sharon, you are here. You're another person with a tough mind here. And so we can appreciate this person, David Goggins. Actually, it's not coincidence, okay? It's the law of attraction and my sixth sense. Now, first of all, who is David Goggins? Let me share my screen. I've got some slides. Okay, so that's the title of today's topic, Challenges for Change. Okay, this is David Goggins. Okay. Who is David Goggins? He's a retired Navy SEAL and the only member of the U.S. Armed Forces ever to complete SEAL training, U.S. Army Ranger School, and Air Force Tactical Air Controller training. Goggins has competed in more than 60 ultramarathons, triathlons, and ultra triathlons, setting new course records and regularly placing in the top 5. A former Guinness World Record holder for completing 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours. He's a much sought-after public speaker who shared his story with the staff of Fortune 500 companies, professional sports teams, and hundreds of thousands of students across the country. A bit of his background, okay? For him, childhood was a nightmare. There was poverty, there was prejudice, racial prejudice, there was physical abuse. His father beat him up, you know, when he was young. His father was a pimp. He said his father was the devil from hell, okay? And it really haunted his childhood. But through self-discipline, mental toughness, and hard work, David Goggins transformed himself from a depressed, overweight young man. Here you see him in that picture, okay? He's 300 pounds. From 175 pounds, he put on 125 pounds, 300 pounds. Okay, transformed from this overweight young man with no future into a U.S. Armed Forces icon and one of the world's top endurance athletes. So David Goggins was just completing an Australian tour, and my friend Resh actually flew down with his wife to attend one of his talks. And here you see Resh. Remember, when Resh does something, he does it in excellence. Okay, so this is David Goggins. Resh is right on the front row, right on the aisle. Okay, that's our Resh, okay? Now, this is what Resh said in his Facebook post. Okay? I spent the last 4 hours on my flight rereading Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me. Here's my biggest takeaway. There are many different ways in which you can practice personal development. But pushing yourself through exercise has got to be one of the highest forms of personal development. I'm not talking about sitting in a sauna and saying you're already perspired. I'm talking about getting in the gym and pushing for that one more rep, even though every muscle fiber is burning. Pushing for that extra mile on that run, even though your lungs are bursting. Getting that one more push-up, even though your arms are trembling. That repeated frequently builds your mind up like no other. You see, as humans, we are engineered to choose the path of least resistance. When there's pain, our mind automatically tells us to stop. But when you push through that resistance, that's when real growth happens. Most people never get to that point. They're satisfied with a bit of sweat. That's also why most people live average lives. Push, break limits, callous your damn mind. Okay, that's what Resh wrote. So David Goggins is about training my mind to keep going no matter what. Okay, he did Navy SEALs 3 times in 1 year. Why? Because he failed 3 times. So when we listen to his story, he talks about that number of times he failed. So he's saying, I'm not special. Okay, I'm like you, except I learned how to train my mind. Okay? And he says that success comes only through struggle. So I want to spend the rest of this time just sharing some quotes from him. I've chosen these quotes specially because they mean something to me. But when I share these quotes, you're going to say, yes, I like them. I agree. I mean, you're on this call because you are this kind of special people. Okay. But they're not going to mean anything to you if you don't, from today, pick 1 or 2 that you really, really like, then memorize it. Because until you memorize it, it does nothing for you. Okay, because you're not going to repeat that thing in your mind. It's like a visualization. Okay. Why does HT live like a leader for so long? Because he has memorized the 6 leadership distinctions. He knows them. It's not when I tell him a leadership distinction, he agrees with me. It's no use. So grab something that you like. Okay, 1 or 2 quotes that you like, memorize it so that you can live it for this week. Then it will mean something to you. Don't just agree with what I'm sharing. Okay. Okay. So let me share with you my favorite 6 quotes. Okay. If you're not physically and mentally prepared for what life is going to throw at you, then you're just going to crumble. And then you're no good to nobody. Okay. So this is the why. This is the why we want to do all this. Okay. This is the why we come to motivational. This is the why we do new skin. This is the why we train our body. Okay. So don't kid yourself. Okay. If you don't train yourself physically and mentally prepare for what life is going to throw at you, it's going to throw more shit at you when you're older. Okay. Then you're just going to crumble. Then you're no good to nobody. Don't kid yourself that you're going to take care of your children, yourself, if you don't prepare for it. Okay. This is your how. Okay, so this is your how. Everybody wants a quick fix. You may get results, but they won't be permanent. The permanent results come from you having to suffer. Okay, the permanent results come from you having to suffer. This is the slight edge. Okay, it's the continuous building. You get stronger, then you increase. You get stronger, then you increase. And okay, that's suffering. Third one, you have to build calluses on your brain, just like you build calluses on your hands. Callous your mind through pain and suffering. I'm not sure if his spelling is right, but callous your mind through pain and suffering, so that your mind becomes immune to that voice that says, stop, take it easy. Okay, it's not worth it. And this one, okay, Hui Xuan knows this because she wears this t-shirt. Okay, I don't stop when I'm tired. I stop when I'm done. Okay. So when you do this through exercise, you will continue to be like this. It's not a doing thing, it's a being thing. So that in your new skin business, in whatever you do, you don't stop when you're tired, you stop when you're done. Okay. Fourth one, pain unlocks a secret doorway in the mind, one that leads to both peak performance and beautiful silence. So this struggle that happens in your mind, once you've sorted out the purpose of the struggle, you're going to experience beautiful silence because you've decided that you're not going to stop, and there's no more noise. It's telling you to stop. Okay, pain unlocks a secret doorway in the mind, one that leads to both peak performance and beautiful silence. Okay, never let people who choose the path of least resistance steer you away from your chosen path of most resistance. Never let people who choose the path of least resistance steer you away from your chosen path, most resistance. That is why we say, don't mix with people, okay, who don't have your same values, who don't go for what you're going. Because if you're going for something big, these people are going to pull you away from that. You're already fighting that in your mind, and these people will just add more fuel to you. Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, look at that picture if you want to, but don't talk to them. Don't have them spilling that poison, to you, worst of all, to your children and the people around you. Okay, so those are my favorite 6. Okay, and there's a why and there's a how. Now I'm going to share with you 7 more so that you can pick. Okay. I like this. The worst thing that can happen to a man is to become civilized. So people think, my goodness me, why you go camping? Why you do these things? Why you get dirty? When you come to leaders retreat, why you get wet? The worst thing that can happen to a man is to become civilized. Okay? So if you become a bit uncivilized, that's really a good thing. We're either getting better or we're getting worse. Okay, so this is the slight edge again. You're either slight edging up or you're slight edging down. There's no static like a bicycle. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. If you want to be uncommon amongst uncommon people, okay, you want to be uncommon amongst uncommon people. Okay, so it's not just be uncommon among common people, but uncommon amongst uncommon people. So you got to mix with uncommon people. That's the mastermind. So you want to be in a group like the Grow group, where they're uncommon and you strive to be uncommon. Okay. Period. If you're willing to suffer, and I mean suffer, your brain and body, once connected, can do anything. How would you like to do anything? Okay. 100% is possible 100% of the time. If it's to be, it's up to me. It's up to you to train your brain. If you're willing to suffer, and I mean suffer, your brain and your body, once connected, can do anything. And as I say this, I can hear Jeff saying amen. So people like Jeff, okay, people like GP. Because for them, especially GP, okay, HT, mental toughness is a lifestyle. Mental toughness is a lifestyle. Okay, and that comes with practice. Okay. People take classes on self-help, mental toughness, breathing control. The only way to get tougher is to put yourself in hellacious situations. The only way to get tougher is to put yourself in hellacious situations. Okay, now, it's not easy to put yourself in hellacious situations because, we pray for good weather. Every time I pray for good weather, I pray for this. I pray for, people to be nice, pray for people to be open. Okay, and God will answer that prayer. That's not going to make you tough. Okay, so when a tough situation comes, when your boss is tough, when your upline is tough, okay, not tough, horrible, okay, no, okay, when this person is bad or you consider bad, then you're lucky you get this free training that you dare not ask for. Okay, it's a hellacious situation, not a difficult situation. Okay, the only way to get tougher is to put yourself in and only God, by grace, give you that opportunity. So when the opportunity comes, don't reject it. Okay? Any class that you take, it's not going to be hellacious. Okay? And this is the last one. Okay? The reason it's important to push hardest when you want to quit the most is because it helps you callous your mind. It's the same reason why you have to do your best work when you are the least motivated. Why you have to do your best work when you are the least motivated. It is about practicing to callous your mind. Okay, because when you're tired, that mind will take over unless it automatically, okay, has been trained. So the first part is about building resilience. Okay, when you callous your mind, you build resistance. Okay. The second part, doing your best when you're least motivated, that deals with procrastination. When you're not motivated, we procrastinate. But if you say, hey, wow, this is about training my mind. When I do the best when I'm this, then you deal with procrastination. How great it is to deal with procrastination, isn't it? Okay, so these are 13 quotes by Dave Goggins. You can go and Google and listen to his sharing. I suggest some of his sharing you don't listen with your children around because he uses pretty strong language, but the message is powerful.